So we're gonna begin today our chakra trip from the first chakra, from the Muladhara root chakra, which is based at the tailbone. I'm not gonna show it to you, but you can just imagine the very beginning of the spine. There we have the root chakra. The color is red. This chakra is connected with feelings as stability, safety, security, foundation, being grounded, and this is what we're going to cultivate today. We're going to begin straight into a laying position. We're going to do it a little bit more slow and chilly at the beginning. Chillig, sorry. This was from German. Just a little bit more slow and gentle at the beginning, but then we're going to make it a little bit more harder. So I'll try to speak a little bit less. You can close your eyes for a moment and you can bring one palm on your belly and one palm on your chest. The knees are touching. The feet are apart at both edges of the mat so that we have a little bit of internal rotation of the hip. You can just focus now on your deepest and slowest breath. Just don't fall asleep. Let's take here around a minute in silence. Just observing your breath. And focus on deep breath and slow. Just breathe in and breathing out. Take one more deep inhalation. And deep exhalation. Bring your palms on the sides of your body. Pushing the mat with your palms. Push your lower back towards the mat and lift your legs up. Straight if it's possible. If it's not possible, then you can keep them a little bit bent. This posture is called Viparita Karani. It's one of the foundation postures in yoga. It's very good for the blood circulation. If you're working in a standing position, or if you're doing maybe long hiking, or just if you lack enough physical activity, then you might need to stimulate a little bit the blood circulation in your legs so that the blood can go up through the veins to the heart. Palms are pushing the mat to make it a bit more easy. We are pushing the lower back down towards the mat. Engaging the abdominals. Legs are straight if it's possible. Keep them together. Maybe you begin to experience a little bit of fire in your deep core. So, deep core is not just the abdominals where you feel the burn, but also the deep muscles that are stabilizing the pelvis. So the pelvic floor muscles, that's the deep core. And this we're gonna do a little bit more today, a little bit more focus on the pelvic floor. This is the foundation for a healthy spine. Plus in yoga, this has spiritual meaning because they say that the Kundalini energy is sleeping like a snake, rolled in the base of the spine where the pelvic floor is. So when we learn to engage those muscles only with our mind, then we can stimulate that energy, go up through the spine. You can visualize the space between your sitting bones, in between the tailbone and the pubic bone. So you can think about those 4 bones, those 4 corners. Maybe you can also close your eyes and try to visualize that space. A few more moments here. Just breathe in and relax your mind. Anytime it gets too much, feel free to make a break. Take one more deep breath in, deep breath out. Bend your knees towards your chest and you can hug them with your both palms. Just giving yourself a big hug. And then you can clasp your fingers, open your knees, bring your feet together and reach, grabbing your both feet into this reclined bound angle pose. Both knees are dropping to the sides. Feet are together, we are holding the feet. A little bit of hip opener. Very good to release the tension from the lower back and stretching the groins. Now you can reach with the right thumb and hold the right big toe. And release the left leg on the mat. You can keep the left leg straight. If this is too much, then you can bend the knee. We are holding the right big toe with the right palm. Opening the hips. And if you're more flexible, you can pull the right knee to the outer side of the chest. Intensifying the stretch for the glutes, for the big side of the right leg. Stretching the area around the hips will also help us release tension from the pelvic floor. So it's about strengthening, but also releasing the tension. The balance. And we're gonna switch the legs. We're gonna hold the left big toe. Right leg will come on the mat. You can keep the right knee bent, or you can keep it straight. We're at the beginning of our practice, so maybe it's a bit too early to go into a deep stretch. Just a gentle evening practice. And if you feel into it, you can push the left knee to the outer side of the chest. And one more time, hugging both knees together. And you can also make a little bit of circles, so holding both knees with your both palms and drawing circles with your knees. So one direction and then to the other direction. Also moving a little bit the feet. One more time, keep your legs straight as much as it's accessible and comfortable for you, and bring your palms clasped behind your head. And you can lift your head a little bit without straining the neck. So here we want to engage the core muscles. So make sure you're not just lifting the head, this will hurt your neck. I remember when we were a kid and we were thinking we were doing exercises and then the neck was hurting, was not good. So the core is engaged here. We're going on to the second level. Same exercise, a little bit more difficult. Focus on your deep, steady breath here. One of the muscle groups that help us keep the legs up in that posture is the strong pelvic floor. Those are also the muscles that are helping us maintain the balance in the headstand. So I know that some of you, if not all of you, want to go into headstand very soon. So hope this motivates you to maintain that posture. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, releasing your head on the mat. And you can also bring your palms again on both sides of your body. Now comes the hardcore part, literally. Now we're gonna burn that core. So we're gonna go all the way down with the legs. Make sure your lower back is on the mat. So that shouldn't be arch in this posture. And we go for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We stop here half of the way. Check if your lower back is flat on the mat. If it's getting already very difficult, then just bend the knees and go your own way, slowly on the mat. Otherwise, let's continue. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Going all the way down. Very good. Great job, guys. One more time, feet together, knees apart. This time the feet are resting on the mat. And also the palms can rest on the mat just for a few breaths here. Stretching the inner side of the legs. Releasing any tension for the groins. And this will also help release tension from the pelvic floor. Yeah. Who wants to go to the split? Not today, but in general. It's also thing to focus on. So to release the tension from the pelvic floor. And slowly lift your knees. Keep the knees and the feet hip width apart. And we're gonna come all the way up vertebra by vertebra. If the neck is sensitive, you can again support the head with your palms. You're gonna go all the way up. It's getting a bit hard for me. I'm gonna go all the way up to a seated position. Palms underneath the knees. So we're gonna find our balance now on the sitting bones. Lean back a little bit. We're gonna keep the heels up in the air. So no rush for difficult posture, just finding here the balance. Toes are on the mat just for balance. Maybe you can also lift them. Palms are supporting the knees. And we're breathing here slow and deep. The heart center is lifted. And eventually we can find the balance and lift the feet slowly up to 90 degrees. The boat is balancing, ready to sail. The knees can be together, but sometimes this is not accessible and causing some tension in the lower back, or it's just not possible. In that case, you can keep them hip width apart. But when you're squeezing the thighs together, then it's a bit more easier to go to the deep core muscles. If the boat is ready to sail, you can release the arms and keep them on the sides of the legs. And breathing. Not too much pressure here, not too much force. Just focus on the slow, steady breath. When you lose your breath, your steady breath, you can make a break and come back. We want only to breathe here. Very good. That's a difficult posture. And you're doing it so easy. Even if it's burning from inside, but you're hiding it very well, guys. One more deep breath in, deep breath out. Release the feet on the mat. Now we're gonna stretch also the front side of the legs and the abdominals. You can point your palms either back to the sides or towards your body. This you choose according to your shoulders and your wrist mobility. I'll keep them pointing towards my body. Feet are close to the hips. We push with the feet, with the palms holding the mat, and the hips are moving forward and up. coming into reverse tabletop pose. And breathing. Focus here on taking the tailbone in and rotating the pubic bone up. So think about kind of flattening the lower back. The knees are hip width apart. The feet and the palms are active. Those are our base. Shoulders are away from the ears. Very good. Super strong. Breathing in and breathing out, releasing the hips from the mat. And you can hug your knees one more time. This time you're finding the balance on the sitting bones. If you like, you can relax your head on your knees for a moment, turning the mind inwards and observing. Very good. Balancing on the sitting bones. You can reach towards your big toes with both palms. And lift the feet a little bit, finding again this 90 degrees angle. And if you want, you can extend your legs a little bit or all the way. Try to not compromise the back. So if you notice you're rounding the back, then you want to bend the knees. You want to lift the heart center, keeping the spine as straight as possible, shoulders are relaxed. And maybe you notice that it's a bit more difficult now. When you're standing and you know, yes, I can reach to my toes with straight spine and I can hold straight legs and everything. And then in this posture, something is not happening. And this is exactly this miracle with deep core that is screwing everything. Now we're gonna make it burn and then it's gonna be super easy. Finding your own degree, your own posture, and just breathing. So you don't have to necessarily keep the legs straight, but you want to keep the spine as straight as possible. Lifting the chest all the time and keeping the shoulders relaxed. And just breathing. And breathing out. If you want, you can release the arms. And for a full butt pose, keep the arms on the sides of your legs. Anytime you want, you can make a break. This is not a competition, it's not a gymnastic class, just a little bit of mindful way to strengthen the body. Breathing in and breathing out, bending the knees, releasing the feet on the mat. And one more time, you can hug the knees and go inward. You can bring the feet on the mat, no worries. Small break. A few breaths here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And one more time, we're gonna reverse the table. So you can choose your palms pointing back to the sides towards your body. And we're gonna push with the feet down, push with the palms down, and hips go forward and then up. Maybe this time you can go a little bit more higher. But it's not the goal. As long as you feel a little bit of stretch in the front side of the body, then it's good. Just don't open the knees too much. Keep them parallel. And keep the shoulders away from the ears, so we don't want to strain the neck. Neck should be free, and you can anytime shake the head to check. You can also relax the head. I will not do that because the microphone will fall down. But if your neck is healthy, there is no pain, you can relax the head. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Slowly releasing and going out of the posture. Bound angle pose. Feet together, knees apart, this time from sitting. Clasping the hands and holding the feet. Feet are close to the body. The sitting bones are on the mat, so maybe you want to just a little bit here and there. If you're not sure if the spine is straight, then you can fold a little bit, lift one buttock, then lift the other one, and then go back into sitting. And here, just close your eyes before going deeper into posture. Just close your eyes and allow the knees naturally to relax and to drop to the side. Notice if your spine is straight, and if it's not, lift through the heart center and lift through the crown of the head. Think about lengthening the spine. Think about grounding through the sitting bones and lengthening the spine up through the crown of the head. When your chest is moving a little bit forward, so that there is a little bit of burning in the upper back. And the shoulders are away from the ears, the neck is free, you can shake the head from side to side to check. If you want to open the hips more, then you can begin to move the knees up and down. First slow, with a big range of motion. And eventually you can speed it up with your own tempo. Without forcing too much, only if it feels comfortable. And eventually you can slow down again. And find your bound angle. This time keep the knees active down close to the mat. So engage in the muscles, not just relaxing. And begin to fold forward first with a straight spine. So from the hip joint. So only from the hip joint is becoming the movement. And if you want, you can play around a little bit. You can come a little bit forward with a straight spine and then back. Only moving from the hip joint. So this is where the movement happens. You can help yourself with your elbows. So the elbows are bending and the hip joint is flexing. So our hips at the moment are in external rotation and flexing. So we are flexing from the hip joint even though the upper body is moving. The same way, we can also do the movement in different postures only with the legs. When the leg is lifted, then we are again flexing the hip joint, but the leg is moving now. The upper body is moving. The pelvis is moving. The spine is just following. Maybe you notice you go a little bit deeper and deeper with every time. And you can also combine this with the breath. Exhaling, coming forward. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, creating more space to go deeper. Inhaling, coming up. Head is just following the spine. And exhaling, coming forward. And you can hold it here. In the knees active. And also you can push with the elbows your thighs. This depends also on the body proportions and how close are your feet to your thighs. So if you reach the thighs with your elbows, then you can also push with the elbows and go deeper. And then you can allow the spine to be rounded and you can allow the head to be heavy. Round spine. And from this position, you can just slide your feet a little bit more forward for a diamond pose called in yoga. And then still holding the feet, clasping the hands, and you can go again into your forward fold. The spine is round and we are just relaxing here. You can forget about all the rules and alignment, just relaxing. Spend here around a minute. So if it gets too much for your hips or for your lower back or for your mind even, or even if you just don't want to do it, make a break, drink some water, come into a child's pose, or hug your knees and rest. Few more moments here. Last inhalation in the pose. Exhaling, letting everything go. And begin super slowly, vertebra by vertebra, to roll the spine. Starting from the base of the spine, from the tailbone, and begin to roll vertebra by vertebra. Rolling, massaging. Finding your way to a seated position. Now open the legs as wide as it feels comfortable. Finding again the sitting bones on the mat. So maybe you want to leave one sitting bone, lifting the buttock, and finding the sitting bones on the mat so that the spine is straight. Anytime you need a break, you can do. You can also skip some of the postures. You don't have to necessarily do all of them. Child's pose is always an option. We find in our wide leg seated position. Left arm is coming on the right thigh. The right arm is reaching over the head, getting ready for a side bend. So we're going to stretch the right side of the body, beginning to bending the spine to the left side. Right arm is reaching over the head towards the left foot. Deep breath in, deep breath out. With the next inhalation, begin to lift your upper body, coming to the center. Switching the side, right arm is resting on the left thigh, left arm is reaching over the head, so we're gonna bend to the right side, both shoulders are perpendicular. Left arm is reaching over the head towards the right foot. Just a gentle side bend, so stretching the obliques. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and letting everything go. With the next inhalation, begin to lift your upper body and to come into the center, releasing both arms. Anytime it gets too much, take a break. If you feel fine and you're ready for more, let's walk the palms as little spiders in front of the body. Again, we are folding from the hip joint. We're going to fold a little bit. So first, we do small steps, baby step, going forward with a straight spine. Spine is straight, so the chest is lifted, and think about long abdominals. So instead of rounding, when you know that your abdominals are long, then you know the spine is straight when the chest is lifted. And here we can try one more time this flexion from the hips. So we can lift the upper, but if you want, you can bring the palms on your hips. Inhaling, exhaling, folding forward. And you can also flex the ankles, only if it's not hurting your knees. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, folding forward, straight spine, long abdominal, chest lifted. Inhaling and lifting. Exhaling, folding forward. Let's do one more of these. Inhaling, coming back whenever it's too much. If there is any discomfort in the lower back, immediately, child's pose, resting. Exhaling, folding forward, and let's reach it here. You can bring the fingertips in front of you, or if you want to make it more difficult, you can reach your arms in front of you in the air. That's a bit more hardcore. Just an option. Inhaling and exhaling. If the palms are up, lower them down and begin to walk the spiders forward. If you reach, bring your elbows on the mat. So when the elbows are on the mat, then it's easier to breathe because then the rib cage is hanging for the shoulders. So when you have support underneath the elbows, and it's easier to breathe. And if you have your elbows on the mat, you can just relax here and breathe. A few more moments here. One more last inhalation into posture. Exhaling, letting everything go and begin to walk your palms back. Slowly, slowly, we're gonna close the legs one by one, a little bit helping with the palms, protecting the knees. With awareness, with control, we go out of the posture. The same way we stay in the posture. And maybe it was a bit too much, and you can again hug your knees and go inward. Palms reaching behind the back, place them on the mat. You can drop your knees to one direction, then to the other, twisting the spine. As you drop them to the right side, keep them there and find your sitting position. We're going to come into a deer pose. So ideally, we have right angle in both knees. So you can also use the mat to check, which is a bit difficult because then the left hip is in the air, and if for some reason this is creating any discomfort in your spine, then you should just find a position that is comfortable for you, just so that you feel comfortable. Either you do the deer pose or a modification. Now we're gonna face the chest towards the right knee, palms on the mat, and we're gonna walk forward. So finding your own degree. Maybe you stay up, maybe this is your position, which is completely fine. If there is any discomfort in your spine, just keep the legs closer. Otherwise, you can fold a little bit more deeper, bringing the elbows on the mat. Few more moments here. You don't necessarily have to do it exactly like I do. If 90 degrees is not possible for you, then you can just keep the legs closer so that both sitting bones are on the mat. Then you can also go forward. This is what we have done on Sunday. One more inhalation in the posture. Exhaling, letting everything go. If you're folding forward, begin to walk your palms back, coming into the center, into a seated position. Palms behind your back. We're gonna slowly bring the legs closer, and then we're gonna switch the side. Dropping both knees to the left. So you can just stay here. Sitting bones are on the mat, so the left foot is close to the right knee. This is option 1. And you can fold forward. So you don't have to necessarily go all the way down, just a little bit so that you are targeting both hips with asymmetric posture. It's very good. If you want more, then you're gonna bring your both legs in 90 degrees. But then the right hip is in the air, because for this, in order to keep both hips on the mat, then for this you really need to have open hips. I cannot do that. So I also avoid that posture sometimes. But it's a good hip opener. So you choose option 1, option 2. From your posture, you can go a little bit more deeper into your forward fold. Finding your own degree. We are folding forward over the left knee, but if for some reason it's not possible, then just in the direction that your hips allow you. Maybe it's also to the side. So that's a bit of awkward position, and it will look different for everyone. Also because very often there is big difference in the mobility of the both hips. So for most of the people, there is different range of motion for both hips. And on both sides, this posture will look different. Maybe one side is more difficult. One more inhalation and exhalation in the posture. Begin to walk your palms back. If you have this awkward posture with the 90 degrees, then you want to first close the legs a little bit. Palms will come behind your back. And slowly bring the feet on the mat, lift the knees. If it was too much, give yourself time to recover the hips. Those are very intensive hip openers. And maybe it was too much at advance. So no force, no pressure. Be patient and kind to yourself. If you want more, To the next posture is just an option, you don't have to do that. This is gonna be a gentle back bend. Back bends are not the best postures for the evening, so if you're going to bed soon, then maybe you will not be able to fall asleep, so just keep it. Camel pose, knees are hip width apart, then we're gonna tuck the tailbone in, the pubic bone up, so the rotation is from the pelvis. We're gonna push the hips a little bit more forward, the fingers are pointing up on the back side of the hips. We're gonna push the hips a little bit forward. We're gonna lengthen the abdominals as much as we can, so lifting the chest, allowing the head to follow that movement. Going into an easy camel pose, so we're not gonna go all the way down, just stay here where it feels comfortable. Focus on lifting the chest and pushing the hips forward, and breathing, most important. Head is following the spine. Slowly begin to push your chest forward, going out of the posture, releasing the hips and sit on your heels. For a few moments here, allowing the spine to recover. And then we have a child's pose. Option 1, knees are together or parallel, arms are on the side. Option 2, knees are apart, arms in front of you. Choose your own child's pose. Stay here for a couple of breaths. From your child's pose, walk your palms forward, lifting the hips, laying prone on your belly, and rotate to supine position, resting in Shavasana. Allow your whole body to relax. Allow the eyes to be closed. Observe your breath as a spectator. This time don't try to control, just observe it. Just be present. And notice if there is any difference. How deep is your breath? How slow is your breath? With which part of your chest are you breathing? Are you expanding the belly as you inhale? Is the rib cage expanding as you inhale? Notice if there is any pause between the breaths. As you exhale, maybe there is a moment of complete silence in your mind and nothing happens. As you inhale, maybe you hold the breath naturally. Notice if this is happening. Bring your awareness back to your body. Notice if there is any difference in your body. And slowly begin to move and to wake up your body from a deep sleep. Doing your own movements, no rules. Keep the eyes closed. Just begin to stretch and do whatever you need. Keep the eyes closed and slowly rotate to the right side. And through the right side, slowly take any comfortable for you sitting position with a straight spine. Just for a moment, eyes are closed. Finish with one chant Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. If you like, bring your palms in front of your heart center and slowly open your eyes. Thank you for your practice.